Alright, are you guys ready for this? Let's continue to learn more about the world with this segment. This is the top 10 most amazing facts, part 3. So if you haven't watched the previous one, click right over here and it'll take you to part 2. You can learn 10 more things. But for now, let's start off this list. And at number 10, let's not waste any time. The Pacific Ocean is the largest of the world's 5 oceans. It is followed by the Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. The Pacific Ocean covers around 30% of the Earth's surface, which covers an area of about 63.8 million square miles. The deepest ocean trench in the world is located in the Pacific Ocean, which is the Marianas Trench. It is 11,034 meters deep, which is more than the height of Mount Everest. Let's get even more educated and at number 9 with the next fact. The temperature inside the sun can reach 15 million degrees Celsius. At the sun's core, energy is generated by the nuclear fusion in which multiple atoms combine to create a single, more massive atom, and in this case we're talking about hydrogen converting to helium. Since hot objects expand, the sun would explode like a bomb if it didn't have its huge gravitational force. On the other hand, the temperature on the surface of the sun is closer to 5,600 degrees Celsius. Talk about hot. Let's take a look at our skeleton system with this next fact at number 8. At birth, the human skeleton is made up of 300 bones, but when we reach adulthood, some bones have fused together, so we end up with 206 bones. Human bones continuously grow from birth until our mid-20s. If you break a bone, the damaged surfaces knit together to form a new bone, and sometimes the new bone is even stronger than the old. Also, the collagen in the bone consistently replenishes itself. About every 7 years, you have a new skeleton system. Number 7 brings us to this fact. When you take one step, you actually use 200 muscles. So when people are playing Pokemon Go, you guys are getting a good workout. The recommended amount of steps a person should take a day is about 10,000. So that is a lot of work for those 200 muscles. However, not everyone walks 10,000 steps a day. But as you can see, it's a pretty good workout. You guys should all download a pedometer app and start walking more every day. Well, with the invention of Pokemon Go, I think it's going to be a lot easier now because you gotta walk a long way to hatch those eggs. Sharks do not have any bones in their bodies, and this comes into number 6. Sharks do have skeletons, but they're made of cartilage instead of bone. What is cartilage? Well, it's a tough, elastic, flexible, connective tissue with many benefits. It is light and it heals faster than bone. However, in some locations, shark requires some reinforcements, so their skull, jaws, and spine are fortified with calcium salts, which makes the cartilage thicker and stronger, so they don't just like fall apart. This is gross, but a true fact, and this comes into our list at number 5. Jelly beans are covered with shellac. So as you guys might know, a lot of our favorite foods contain disgusting food additives. Shellac is added to foods to give it a little more of a special shine, but shellac is derived from the excretions of an insect. Yes, the excretions, which is more or less their poop. But if you guys think that trading your jelly beans for an apple is a wise choice, let me leave you guys with another fact. Sometimes in the washing process, apple loses their shine. So how do you think they give apple their waxy shine? You guessed it, good old shellac. So it's the same thing. You're trading shellac for shellac. This next fact brings us to number 4. Russia didn't consider beer to be alcohol until 2011. That's pretty interesting actually. Beer was previously classified as a soft drink because it was under 10% in strength. It used to be common to see people drinking beer in large quantities on the street and in parks. It's almost the same as if they're drinking a soft drink like a Pepsi or a Coke. Beer was non-restricted and it was sold around the clock. Okay, so let the cuteness begin with fact number 3. Sea otters hold hands when they are sleeping. Although this is a super cute and adorable thing, there is actually a purpose behind this. Sea otters hold hands in order to prevent floating away from each other. A mother and her pup will hold each other's hands while sleeping to also prevent themselves from floating alone into the open waters. They also utilize kelp. The sea otters will wrap themselves in long strands of kelp and use it as an anchor so they can sleep in peace. It kind of makes sense when you think about it. This amazing fact comes into number 2. An average hummingbird's heart rate is more than 1,200 beats per minute. To put that into perspective, the average human heart rate is between 60 to 100 beats per minute at rest. When they fly, their wings beat between 50 and 200 flaps per second, depending on the direction of flight and air condition. At resting, a hummingbird takes an average of 250 breaths per minute, whereas a human will take about 12, maybe 20 breaths a minute. And finally, coming at the number 1 spot for the top 10 most amazing facts part 3, headless cockroaches are capable of living for weeks. What? So after a cockroach loses its head, their neck would seal off by clotting factors, so there is no uncontrolled bleeding. Cockroaches actually breathe through little holes in each of their body segments, and their brains do not control their breathing like human brains do. And cockroaches can live several weeks without having a meal. Also, it's not just the body that can survive the decapitation. The head can survive too. So you chop the cockroach in half and you have both ends still living. And it can also move its antennae back and forth for several hours until it runs out of energy. But if it was given nutrients and if it was refrigerated, it can actually last a little longer. That's a little bit weird, but that's where I'm going to end you guys off today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all probably in part 4, but I'll see you guys really soon in another Most Amazing Top 10 video. See you guys later. Bye.
For president, put hashtag Little Landon for president. And I suppose thank you guys so much for watching these videos. If you guys want to watch the previous videos, you guys can go right over here. You guys can click on this. Just go over with your mouse and literally click on it. You guys can do something with this. And if you guys are on a phone, you guys are like, what's going on? You can't click on it. We'll put that video in the description below, and then you guys can. If you guys want to watch the vlog video, click down here. I'll show you guys where to subscribe. Come with me. Just right over here. You guys can hit the subscribe button. Okay, that's it for me, guys. I gotta go start my campaign to run for president. Okay, bye. Don't forget, hashtag Little Landon.